Because the Bible does not teach a social gospel. That's what modern liberal churches think the Bible teaches. Christ did not come to change society. Christ was not a revolutionary. Christ could have changed society. Christ could have, as we saw last week, he could have ended world hunger on the spot. He could have healed all diseases in the world on the spot. He could have solved all social problems, ended war on the spot. He could have freed all of the slaves in Rome, the entire Roman Empire, by his own power. But he didn't. He didn't. That was not his mission. That was not what he came to do. And that is an offense to many. That's the kind of Christ that they want. And that's the kind of Christ that they think the Christian church should promote. But the Apostle Paul had neither the interest, the calling, or the resources to gather a protest at the Roman Senate to demand an end to slavery or to stir up a revolution in the Roman Empire. Paul and the other apostles and Jesus Christ himself never commanded revolution. In fact, they prohibited revolution, stirring up rebellion against the state. Just read Romans 13 and 1 Peter chapter 2, for example. The calling of the Christian church is to preach the gospel of salvation from sin. Sin. And Christ did not come to deliver his people from slavery, but from the slavery of sin. The crushing burden of the guilt of sin bears down upon the slave and upon the master. The horrible pollution of sin stains the slave and the master. The awful bondage of sin has power over the slave and the master. And when a man is so enslaved to sin, as we all are by nature, that he cannot stop sinning, that's the slavery he ought to be worried about. And that's the slavery that Christ came to redeem his people from. And that's the tragedy of the social gospel and of the churches and Christian groups who have given up preaching Christ crucified, deliverer from the slavery of sin, and have instead busied themselves with social work, with soup kitchens, with cleaning up the inner city slums, with helping all of the miserable and destitute of society. Because once they have helped all those people, all of them will go to hell unless they believe the gospel of Jesus Christ. And if Paul had gone around trying to end slavery, there would not have been a New Testament. There would not have been a New Testament church, and all of us would be going to hell. That's the issue here.